Hi, welcome to this video on developing paragraphs by using details and particulars. You use this style when you're developing a narrative or a descriptive paragraph. In this case, we have a piece from the Count of Monte Cristo. It is a narrative paragraph. The topic sentence, which you should have ascertained by now, is the most important part of the paragraph and determines the one thought that the other sentences develop. So in this case, the topic sentence states, "The Count departed with a sad heart from the house in which he had left Mercedes, probably never to behold her again." So when you look at this topic sentence, the sad heart of the Count is a subject that's going to be developed, and details can include statements about the house, Mercedes, or the fact that he'll never behold her again. But essentially, the sentences that provide the details for this topic will deal with the details of the Count's sad heart. The first sentence says, "Since the death of little Edward, a great change had taken place in Monte Cristo. Having reached the summit of his vengeance by a long and tortuous path, he saw an abyss of doubt yawning before him. More than this, the conversation which had just taken place between Mercedes and himself had awakened so many recollections in his heart that he felt it necessary to combat with them. A man of the Count's temperament could not long indulge in that melancholy which can exist in common minds, but which destroys superior ones. He thought he must have made an error in his calculations, if he now found cause to blame himself." This paragraph talks about his sad heart arising from, 1, the death of a little boy named Edward, how it had changed him, how in the summit of his vengeance he started to develop doubt. That doubt contributed to his sadness. Then it states that the conversation he had with Mercedes had awakened recollections that he had to combat with. And then it goes on, Dumas goes on to state that his temperament was not able to indulge in melancholy because he had a superior mind. And then it lastly says that his sadness came from him blaming himself. And in the combating of this sadness, he's ascertained that he's determined that he's made an error in his calculations. So every sentence contributes to the sentiment of a sad heart, the subject of the topic sentence. In this, we are dealing with a descriptive paragraph, and we'll look at the paragraph starting with the topic sentence. "There is scarcely a scene or object familiar to the Galilean of that day which Jesus did not use as a moral illustration of some glorious promise or moral law." The way this topic sentence is crafted is that the scene or object within Galilee would provide details for the sentence. The scenes and objects are examples that Jesus used as illustrations of moral laws and promises. Green fields and springing flowers, budding of the vernal trees, of a redder lowering sky, of a sunrise and sunset, of wind and rain, night and storm, of clouds and lightning, of stream and river, of stars and lamps, of honey and salt, of quivering bulrushes and burning weeds, of rent garments and bursting wineskins, of eggs and serpents, of pearls and pieces of money, of nets and fish, wine and wheat, corn and oil, stewards and gardeners, laborers and employers, kings and shepherds, travelers and fathers of families, courtiers in soft clothing and brides in nuptial robes. All these are found in his discourses. So the author crafted the topic sentence to be able to give details of the scenes and objects that Jesus used. So this is an example of a descriptive paragraph using the details and particulars of the subject of the topic sentence.